Have you ever felt like life suddenly became quiet in a strange and painful way? Not the calm kind of quiet, but the kind that makes you feel alone even when people are around you. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the people you once felt close to now feel distant. Conversations feel empty. Messages stop coming. You sit with others, yet inside you feel invisible, like you are watching life through a window instead of living it. You try harder to connect. You give more of yourself. You search for meaning in closeness, but the more you search, the more alone you feel. Slowly, a painful thought starts growing in your mind. Maybe the universe is against me. Maybe something is wrong with me. Maybe I am meant to walk this path alone. But what if this loneliness is not rejection? What if this isolation is not a mistake? What if this feeling of being pulled away from everything is not abandonment at all? What if the universe is doing this on purpose? What if this isolation is not here to break you, but to change you in the deepest way possible? Isolation is one of the hardest experiences a person can go through. We are taught to fear being alone. We are taught that being alone means being unloved or unwanted. So when life removes people, noise, and distractions, we assume we are being punished. But the truth is very different. Isolation is not a punishment. It is a spiritual gift, even though it feels painful while you are inside it. It is a sacred space where the universe works on you closely, quietly, and deeply. When the universe pulls you away from people and familiar routines, it is not taking something from you. It is creating space. Space for truth. Space for healing. Space for growth. If you are going through isolation right now, it is not random. It is happening for a reason. This season is shaping you in ways that could never happen if your life stayed busy and noisy. One of the main reasons the universe places you in isolation is to bring you back to yourself. Over time, we forget who we truly are. We begin living for approval. We change how we speak, how we act, and even how we think just to fit in. We carry masks everywhere. Slowly, we lose touch with our inner voice. We stop asking what we want and start asking what will be accepted. Isolation removes the audience. There is no one to impress, no one to please, no one to perform for. And at first, this feels uncomfortable and scary. But in that silence, something powerful begins to happen. You start hearing yourself again. Your thoughts slow down. Your intuition becomes clearer. You begin to notice what feels right and what never truly belonged to you. This is why isolation often feels confusing in the beginning. The ego panics when old identities fall apart. It feels like you are losing yourself. But in reality, you are losing the false version of yourself that was built to survive. The real you begins to surface. You start asking deeper questions. What truly matters to me? What kind of life feels honest? Who am I when no one is watching? These questions guide you back to your true self. Another powerful reason for isolation is deep healing. Many people carry emotional wounds for years without realizing it. Pain from childhood, pain from broken relationships, pain from rejection, betrayal, or loss. We often stay busy to avoid these feelings. We distract ourselves because silence brings memories, and being alone brings emotions we have been avoiding. Isolation removes these distractions. There is nowhere to run. Old feelings rise to the surface. Sadness, anger, fear, guilt, and grief may appear stronger than ever. This can feel overwhelming, but it is not happening to hurt you. It is happening so you can finally heal. The universe is giving you the time and space to feel what you never allowed yourself to feel. Healing needs silence. Healing needs honesty. Healing needs time. In isolation, you are given all three. You no longer need to pretend you are strong. You no longer need to explain your pain. You are finally allowed to sit with your emotions and let them pass through you. Slowly, pain begins to soften. Old wounds lose their power. You start understanding yourself with compassion instead of judgment. This stage can feel heavy. You may feel tired, emotional, or sensitive. This is normal. Your nervous system is releasing years of stored pain. Spiritually, this is cleansing. It is a deep inner reset. And once this healing happens, you begin to feel lighter, clearer, and more at peace with yourself. Isolation also helps you let go of the ego. The ego needs attention to survive. It needs praise, comparison, and validation. It tells you that your worth depends on how others see you. When people disappear and attention fades, the ego feels threatened. But this is where true freedom begins. When you are isolated, there is no one to impress, no one to compete with, no one to measure yourself against. Slowly, you realize something important. You are still worthy even when no one is watching. You are still valuable even when no one is praising you. Your worth does not disappear when attention does. As the ego quiets down, the soul becomes louder. You begin trusting your inner voice instead of outside opinions. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining yourself. You feel more grounded and calm. This is why people often come out of isolation more peaceful and confident. They are no longer trying to prove who they are. They simply know who they are. One of the deepest reasons the universe puts you in isolation is preparation. This phase is not the end of your journey. It is training. Before stepping into a greater purpose, you must build inner strength. Before clarity arrives, confusion must clear old beliefs. Before your calling appears, you must become emotionally and spiritually ready for it. In isolation, you are being shaped. Old habits are breaking. Limiting beliefs are being questioned. You are learning patience. You are learning self-trust. You are learning how to sit with uncertainty without fear. These lessons cannot be learned in comfort. They are learned in stillness and solitude. You may not see where this path is leading yet. That is okay. Trust is being built inside you. When the next chapter of your life begins, you will realize that this quiet season gave you everything you needed. The strength you gain now will support you later. The clarity you gain now will protect you later. Isolation does not mean you are forgotten. It means you are being focused on. The universe is working with you closely, without noise or distraction. Even though it feels lonely, you are not alone. You are being guided step by step, even when you cannot see the full picture. If you are experiencing isolation right now, do not rush to escape it. Do not numb it. Do not judge yourself for it. Use it. Listen to what it is teaching you. One day, you will look back and realize that this was not the time when life stopped. This was a time when life quietly realigned you with who you were always meant to be. Remember this. Even in solitude, you are supported. Every emotion, every realization, every silent moment has meaning. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust yourself. The universe is not against you. It is guiding you towards something deeper, stronger, and more meaningful than you can imagine.